At the Early Cancer Institute, we're focused on the fundamental science of how a cancer is born, how it develops in the first place, and how it evolves, and using that knowledge to improve the kind of tests and the treatments we have for people with cancer. We know that the majority of patients, unfortunately, will present with really advanced stage disease, often stage 3 and 4, and the 5-year survival rates for stage 4 cancer are unfortunately a dismal less than 10%. Now that can be completely transformed if we diagnose it at stage 1 and 2, and there we're looking at 5-year survival rates of over 80%. At the Early Cancer Institute, we're really wanting to have a very multidisciplinary approach, where cancer researchers and doctors work with engineers, physicists and mathematicians to develop radical new ways to detect cancer early, and we think that's what will make a really exciting new environment to push the field forward.
My name is Matthew Hoare. I'm one of the group leaders running a laboratory here at the Early Cancer Institute interested in liver disease and liver cancer. We're interested in why patients with liver disease get cancer. Now we know that if you have obesity and type 2 diabetes, you have an increased rate of developing liver disease, and you're at risk of developing a whole range of different cancers at a higher rate than the general population. We know there's an increased risk of breast cancer, bowel cancer, womb cancer, but particularly primary liver cancer. Now we're interested in looking at the mutations in DNA which are acquired over time within the diseased liver. If we were able to identify what those mutations are, what they do, and whether they can be identified without the need for a liver biopsy, then we might be able to identify patients who are going on to get liver cancer in the longer term.
My name is Maria Crispin. I work in the Early Cancer Institute. I run a computational lab that focuses on using data that is available from patients routinely, such as radiology or pathology scans, to diagnose cancer earlier and to personalize their journey. AI and computational methods give us the opportunity to really understand the data that we're getting from patients who are receiving cancer treatment. Often images, radiology scans, pathology images are not analysed quantitatively, or at least not in detail, and AI methods give us that opportunity to go beyond what is achievable by a human. It might be that there are images that are too noisy for us to detect cancer, but if we use an AI algorithm, it might be possible to find it with high accuracy, and therefore that might enable a new screening program for a particular type of cancer.
So I've been interested in the earlier detection of cancer for my whole working career, and what I've been particularly interested in is cancer of the esophagus, which is one of those really poor outcome cancers that's usually diagnosed very late. And what we've done is design a really simple but different kind of test, which we call a capsule sponge test, sometimes nicknamed to a pill on a string, with the idea that this is a really simple office-based test that doesn't require endoscopy to collect cells from the esophagus and then be tested in the laboratory for the telltale signs of the cancer.
My name's Harvey Dev. I'm a group leader and academic urologist. My research group's interested in finding out what makes early prostate cancers lethal. We're exploring new and more accurate ways of trying to find prostate cancer in the blood, and we're using technology that looks at DNA that's shed from tumours into the bloodstream. The idea is that this will be more accurate and not only being able to identify early lethal prostate cancers, but possibly also repurposed for other very hard to detect cancers. And where patients do have an early prostate cancer identified, we're hoping through our drug development program to ultimately provide better therapeutic solutions that could alter the natural history of prostate cancer and maybe even prevent it from developing in the first place.
One of the innovative things we're doing as part of our research, we're not just working with people who have cancer, but we're also working with healthy volunteers who may be at risk of cancer through a family history or a lifestyle choice. And we hope that within 10 years we'll have a really internationally valuable bioresource for people to access to further their research.
I think that we're really entering a new era for cancer research, and that also means a new era for how patients will experience their cancer journeys.
I spend far too much time in my clinic seeing patients and telling them that they are beyond a cure and they're even beyond treatment. We need to be able to shift things to a much earlier stage. We identify who is going on to get cancer, understand why they're going on to get cancer, intervene earlier, and if cancer develops, treat it much earlier in order to improve patients' lives and patient survival.